Hello, my name is Lanisisa, and this is my ID identification. Here is the number of my ID, but I decided to hide it for precaution. Well, that is my name and my last names and the number of my university. Well, this is the subject of academic reading and writing too. And in this occasion, I'm going to talk about the topic, plagiarism. What is the meaning of plagiarism? It is the action of taking information, words, ideas, or images from another person and presenting it as it were my own work. Well, in this action, we forget the effort that the other person has made in his work. But beyond this, we forget the ethical and moral part when we commit this act. Well, why is plagiarism so bad? Well, it's dishonest. When we do this consciously, we aren't responsible for our jobs. It harms to the person we are plagiarizing. We hinders the learning process. Well, when we do this, we don't only hurt those people we steal from, but also ourselves. We don't develop our creativity or increase our knowledge. Well, and the last, it results in bad writing. For example, the documents, the text, or the information that we copy has have grammatical or spelling mistakes. Well, we trust in this information and we decide these mistakes. When we do our activities or job in the future, we 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 maintain these mistakes. Well, what are the consequences of plagiarism? Well, I found three three levels of plagiarism and their consequences. Well, first, mild, moderate, and severe. Well, in the first one, the consequences are great penalty or ultimate fear. What is the example of this? The store was cited but doesn't appear in the list of reference. A quotation mark are omitted. The second, moderate. The consequence are failing grade on course. Well, the examples for this is the test is copied but with a slight change in the words. The test is paraphrased but doesn't have citation. Well, in severe, the consequences are academic probation or expulsion. Well, what are the examples of this? The text is copied literally with no change or citation. The test was written by someone else. In higher levels, the consequence can be legal and it can be considered a crime. Well, what is the most common types of plagiarism? In this guide, we want to talk about 7 types. Copy-paste information without acknowledgement, zero of auto-plagiarism, cloning, mosaic, remix, find and replace, and verbatim. Well, what is copy-paste information without acknowledgement? Well, it's the most common is the action of copy and paste information like its name say us from another person without giving credit to the person who deserves it. Well, in this, we just copy a little part of information, not all, just a little part. We have an example here. I think this is most used in high school. Well, what is self or auto-plagiarism? Is when the author, in this case me, I use my own ideas either from previous works or activities that I made by myself. Well, we have an example in this photo when Student reclaiming a bad grade, but he forget the auto plagiarism. What is cloning? Cloning is similar to the first one, but this is a little different because we copying all information and putting our name to pass it off as ours. It's, I, it's like I made this work, but no, we have an example here. We 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 see we know we don't see any change, nothing. Well, what is mosaic? This is this consists of copying from different authors certain information on the same subject to join ideas and to make it look coherent and not look like plagiarism. Well, we have an example. For example, the first paragraph is the one author and the second paragraph is the another person. This is an example of mosaic. What is remix? Remix is very similar to the previous one. The difference is that it paraphrases certain pairs of the information and not personal knowledge. Well, we have an example here. The words in purple color is the difference, and the words in the sky blue colors are different too. The rest of the text is the same. Well, find and replace. What is this? In this style, only certain words are changed, mostly by synonyms, and of them or specific ideas are changed. The rest of the text is the same. For example, we have one here. Uh, you can read, And the last one, verbatim. What is verbatim? This is one a bit different because in this case, you copy someone's words, but words that have been spoken, either from an interview, movie, video, or something like that. We have an example here. For example, we see that Fred Allen say, I like long walks, especially when they are taken by people who annoy me. And the players is I know positive to exercise. For example, I like long walks, especially when they are taken by people who annoy me. Well, we see the person who takes this word forget to mention the author. And finally, I have a little reflection about the topic of plagiarism. Well, avoiding plagiarism is crucial to maintaining academic integrity and ethical standards in any form of writing. To stay away from this academic crime, one must cultivate good research habits and proper citation practice. First, it's essential to understand the concept of plagiarism and recognize that using someone else's work without proper knowledge is unacceptable. To avoid plagiarism, start by doing thorough research and taking detailed notes. Familiarize yourself with the various citation styles such as APA, MLIA, or Chicago, and follow the specific guidelines of your institution or publication. Finally, always share your work to confirm that you have properly cited all sources. If you cultivate these habits and respect the intellectual property of others, you will be able to produce original well-referenced work while maintaining academic honesty and integrity. And this is all my topic. Thank you so much for attention. I hope that you understand all and you can learn something new. Thank you.